Hello students. Today we will learn very important topic active and passive voice. Active voice is a sentence structure where the subject perform an action making the sentence direct and strong. As the peon opens the gate, who did this? We will finish the work in a fortnight. And the definition of passive voice is passive voice is a sentence where the subject receives the action, making it more indirect and formal. The passive voice is so called because the person or thing denoted by the subject or active but passive, that is, suffers or receives some action. Voice is the form of a verb which shows whether what is denoted by the subject does something or has something done to it. Note the change of active voice in passive voice in these sentences. Noor loves Noshin. Passive voice Noshin is loved by Noor. The mason is building the wall. The wall is built by the mason. Who did this? By whom was this done? Why did your brother write such a letter? Why was such letter written by your brother? It will be noticed that when the verb is changed from the active voice to the passive voice, the object of the transitive verb in the active voice becomes the subject of the verb in the passive voice. Thus, in sentence 1, Noshin, which is the object of love in the active voice, becomes the subject of is loved in the passive voice. Since the object of a verb in the active voice becomes the subject of the passive voice, it follows that only transitive verb can be used in the passive voice because an intransitive verb has no object. The passive voice is formed with the suitable tense of the verb be followed by the past participle. Studies this table. Simple tense in active takes, take, and passive voice am, taken, is, are taken. Present continuous we use is, are, am. In passive voice is, are, am being taken. Present perfect tense has, have taken. In passive voice has, have been taken. Simple past tense we use second form of the word took. In passive voice we use was, were taken. Past continuous was, were taking. Passive voice was, were being taken. Past perfect had taken. Passive voice had been taken. Simple future we shall take. In passive voice we shall be taken. Can, may, must, or other modal verbs we use in active can, must. In passive voice can be taken, must be taken. The student must know when to use the active voice and when to use the passive voice. The ability to change the active into passive voice and vice versa is not sufficient. The active voice is used when the agent or doer of the action is to be made prominent. The passive voice when the person or thing acted upon it is to be made prominent. The passive is therefore generally preferred when the active form would involve use of an indefinite or vague pronoun or noun like somebody, they, people as subject. That is when we do not know the agent or when it is clear enough who the agent is. As my pen has been stolen. Somebody has stolen my pen. I was asked my name. They asked my name. I have been invited to the party. Someone has invited me in party. In such cases, the agent with by is usually avoided. A notable thing is, however, that as in the examples given earlier, the by phrase cannot be avoided where the agent has some important and is necessary to complete the sense. So it was active voice, and we will learn more about active and passive voice in our next video. So stay tuned, subscribe my channel. Thank you.